Welcome to Movie Time, and today we're taking a bite out of the best zombie movies that will send chills down your spine. For this list, we will be ranking the top 10 zombie movies based on the quality of their storytelling, exceptional performances, mind-blowing special effects, and the overall impact that they've had on the zombie genre. Don't forget to let us know in the comments which of these brain-eating flicks is your favorite. Number 10. Army of the Dead.
What the?
The movie Army of the Dead is an action horror film from 2021, directed by Zack Snyder and produced by Netflix. The film revolves around a group of mercenaries who, following a zombie outbreak in Las Vegas, undertake a seemingly impossible mission. They are tasked with carrying out the biggest heist ever attempted by breaking into a casino located in the quarantine zone and stealing millions of dollars. They venture into the quarantine zone to execute the heist and must face hordes of zombies and navigate through dangerous terrain filled with traps and obstacles. Number 9. #Alive. #Alive is a South Korean zombie thriller movie released in 2020. The movie is set in a modern apartment complex where the main character Jun Woo, a video game streamer, finds himself trapped after a mysterious outbreak has turned most of the city's population into zombies. With no way out and limited supplies, Jun Woo must find a way to survive and stay alive. The plot thickens as Jun Woo makes contact with another survivor in the adjacent apartment, Kim Yoo-bin. Together, they face the harsh reality of their situation and fight their way out of the complex. Number 8. Overlord. Overlord is a 2018 horror action film directed by Julius Avery. The movie is set in the midst of World War II and follows a group of American paratroopers who are dropped behind enemy lines in Nazi-occupied France on the eve of D-Day. Their mission is to penetrate the walls of a fortified church and destroy a radio transmitter. However, the soldiers soon discover that the Nazis have been performing supernatural experiments on the local villagers in order to create superhuman soldiers. Number 7. Zombieland.
Got a pretty mouth.
Zombieland is a post-apocalyptic horror comedy film released in 2009. The movie was directed by Ruben Fleischer and stars Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, Emma Stone, and Abigail Breslin. The film follows the story of Columbus, a college student who is trying to make his way back home to Ohio to see if his parents are still alive. Along the way, he meets Tallahassee, a rough and tough survivor who has a love for killing zombies, and the two team up. The duo then meets two sisters, Wichita and Little Rock. The four of them decide to travel together, and their journey is filled with danger, adventure, as they try to navigate their way through a world overrun by zombies. Number 6. Wreck. Wreck is a Spanish found-footage horror movie released in 2007. The story follows a TV reporter and her cameraman who are filming a segment for a documentary in a Barcelona fire station. The duo follows a group of firefighters on a call to rescue an old woman trapped in her apartment. Upon their arrival, they quickly realize that the situation is not as simple as they had initially believed, as the old woman's peculiar behavior becomes apparent to them. Soon it becomes apparent that she is infected with a virus that turns people into rabid, bloodthirsty creatures. The building is sealed off, and the people inside are trapped with the infected. Number 5. Resident Evil. Resident Evil is a multimedia franchise that originated from a survival horror video game developed and published by Capcom in 1996. The franchise includes films, animated series, novels, and comics. The film series began in 2002 with Resident Evil, directed by Paul W.S. Anderson and starring Milla Jovovich. The movie Resident Evil has had multiple sequels with titles such as Apocalypse, Extinction, Afterlife, Retribution, and The Final Chapter. The story revolves around Alice, a former security operative for the Umbrella Corporation, a pharmaceutical company that has created a virus called the T-virus, which turns humans into zombies and other dangerous creatures. Alice is infected with the virus and develops superhuman abilities, which she uses to fight against the Umbrella Corporation and its agents.
My name is Alice, and this is my world.
Number 4. Train to Busan. Train to Busan is a South Korean horror zombie film made in 2016. The film revolves around a father and his young daughter who travel on a high-speed train to Busan. However, as the train departs, a woman infected with the zombie virus boards the train and quickly spreads the infection to the other passengers as the train departs. They realize that the train has been infected with a zombie virus and most of its passengers have turned into zombies. What was supposed to be a simple train ride turns into a harrowing survival story, where the remaining passengers must band together to fight off the flesh-eating zombies and reach their destination safely. Number 3. I Am Legend. I Am Legend is a 2007 post-apocalyptic action thriller film directed by Francis Lawrence and starring Will Smith. The movie is based on the novel of the same name by Richard Matheson. The story follows Dr. Robert Neville, a former military scientist who is now the last surviving human in New York City, in a world where a virus has devastated humanity, turning most people into zombie-like creatures. As he spends his days searching for a cure for the virus, he must also navigate the dangers of the abandoned city and fight for his survival against the deadly creatures that lurk in the shadows. Number 2. World War Z. World War Z is an action-packed apocalyptic film released in 2013 and directed by Mark Forster, based on the novel of the same name by Max Brooks. The main character, Gary Lane, is portrayed by Brad Pitt. The movie begins with the Lane family, where the former UN investigator Gary and his family live a seemingly normal life. However, their peaceful existence is abruptly shattered by a mysterious infection that transforms people into mindless flesh-eating zombies. After narrowly escaping the initial outbreak, Gary is recruited to lead a mission to investigate the cause of the outbreak. He embarks on a perilous journey around the world, facing unimaginable dangers and fighting against time to find a cure and prevent the collapse of human civilization. Number 1. Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead, a horror film directed by Zack Snyder and released in 2004, is a remake of George A. Romero's 1978 film of the same name. The story follows a nurse named Anna who returns home after a long shift at the hospital. As she falls asleep, her husband is attacked and bitten by a neighbor who has become a zombie. Anna manages to escape and eventually meets up with a police officer named Kenneth and other survivors who decide to seek refuge in the deserted Crossroads shopping mall. As supplies begin to run low and more trapped survivors need help, the group realizes that they cannot stay in the mall forever and devise a plan to escape. Thank you for watching today's video. By subscribing to our channel, you'll be the first to know about new movie releases. You'll also have access to our curated list of must-see movies, ranging from classic films to the latest blockbusters. So, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button and join our community of movie lovers today.